Trump administration fires 17 immigrant court judges across 10 states. Put it up for a mass. I got a hell of a story to tell you. This guy right here, your commander-in-chief, has fired 17 immigration court judges across 10 states, according to the union. The International Federation of Professional and Technical Engineers, which represents immigration court judges, as well as other professionals, said in a news release that 15 judges were, quote, fired without cause on Friday and another 2 on Monday. The union said they were working in courts in 10 different states across the country: California, Illinois, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, Ohio, Texas, Utah, and Virginia. Quote, it's outrageous and against the public interest that at the same time, Congress has authorized 800 immigration judges. We are firing large numbers of immigration judges without cause, said the union's president, Matt Biggs. This is nonsensical. The answer is to stop firing and start hiring, end quote. Senator alleges one firing is a punishment. The association or the Associated Press reports that Democratic U.S. Senator Dick Durbin alleged that one of the judges was fired essentially due to a punishment for talking to him during a visit the senator made a few weeks ago to the Chicago Immigration Court. In a news release Tuesday, Durbin said the judge, quote, took time to show me the court and explained its function. He said after the visit, the judge received an email from the Justice Department telling her that all communications with congressional offices should be routed through headquarters and that immigration judges should not be talking directly with members of Congress. Her abrupt termination is an abuse of power by the administration to punish a non-political judge simply for doing a job, said Durbin, who's the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. But the union said that since the Trump administration took office, over 103 judges have either been fired or voluntarily left after taking what was dubbed the fork in the road offers at the beginning of the administration. The union said that rather than speeding up the immigration court process, the Justice Department's firings would actually make the backlogs worse. According to a recent ICE memo, the Trump administration has declared that immigrants who arrived in the United States illegally are no longer able or eligible for a bond hearing as they fight deportation proceedings in court, according to court documents reviewed by the Washington Post. In a July 8th memo, Todd M. Lyons, acting director of ICE, told officers that such immigrants should be detained, quote, for the duration of their removal proceeding, which can take months or years. The Washington Post reports lawyers say the policy will apply to millions of immigrants who crossed the U.S.-Mexico border over the past few decades, including under the Biden administration. In the past, immigrants residing in the U.S. interior generally have been allowed to request a bond hearing before an immigration judge, but Lyons wrote that the Trump administration's Department of Homeland Security and Justice said, Security and Justice had, quote, revisited its legal position on detention and release authorities and determined that such immigrants, quote, may not be released from ICE custody. In rare exceptions, immigrants may be released on parole, but that decision will be up to an immigration officer, not a judge, he wrote. The fundamental question is, do you have to be an American citizen in order to have constitutional rights? The answer is no. It is clear in the Constitution. It is clear in the multiple interpretations by the Supreme Court of the Constitution. You do not have to be an American citizen to receive these rights. So what they're doing is they are eroding the rights of non-citizens, as they would say, because if they can get away with eroding the rights of non-citizens, they will absolutely get away with eroding the rights of citizens. They would take that away as well. They did the same thing when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. They made you believe this was about affirmative action. And as soon as they got you to say, yes, it's about affirmative action and affirmative action needs to go, they then came after everything else, just like the plan says. This is another part of that plan. All right, Jackson, thoughts?
Well, I think it's pretty clear that as much as the Trump administration can, they're trying to make room for loyalists and people who won't give any type of pushback to Trump or anybody in his administration at all. Because, so much of what him and particularly Elon Musk before he was gone and Doge tried to do was just flat out illegal, whether it be the hundreds or thousands of people that they tried to fire. They did get away with a lot of it. They didn't get away with some of it, or some of the cuts that they tried to make to vital programs and benefit outlets that people count on to survive or at least stay above water. And, a lot of the time people think that, it's just the individuals who are below the poverty line who just continuously take advantage of those benefits. But oftentimes, people lose jobs, people go through things, and they may only do that for a couple of months. And they tried to take that away from people. And that's why we have these federal judges in these positions to be like, no, you can't just arbitrarily do this. One of the bigger issues that the Trump administration faces, or really any type of broad authoritarian in a country like America, is we got the midterms in a year and a half. So, that's one of the bigger reasons that they're trying to destroy the administrative and regulatory state as much as they can before then. But even at that, Donald Trump is an old man. He's sick. He's an idiot. He's not made for this. He's not about that life in reality. So, we're not dealing with like some strapping military individual in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or even 60s who has decades ahead of them potentially to lead the country. Like Trump can't do what he's trying to do. He's going to be out of office. He might not make it through his whole term. We don't know. But in doing so, they're really just making a huge mess out of the political process in this country in general, which is to the benefit of corporate America, the oligarchs, and just the far right wing in this country who really are not interested in people like you and me participating in the process at all.
Right. Well said. We'll bring you updates as they come, guaranteed to be many.